All right, welcome to my presentation. My name is Luke Elliott, and today in the audience we have my brother. And Jeremy, go ahead and say hi. What's up, dude?
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Get ready for a fun presentation.
All right.
Cool. So yeah, I'll go ahead and start. So I have vivid memories of the preceding days before school started after a long summer of doing my favorite thing, which is nothing. The very thought of walking back through those doors would wind me up inside. Every year, it was the same. No matter how hard I fought it, the thought of being thrown back to a year full of unknowns after a 3-month break filled me with fears of inadequacy, resentment, and anxiety towards school. For many in the United States, this is just the simple reality of how going back to school is. It's the way it's always been. But is it truly the best way to nurture our country's future generation? I, as a student, as I'm sure each member of the audience can relate to some extent, that back to school time is a stressful time, that it is an undisputable fact that those feelings dominate a young child's psyche. After further research of what type of school scheduling best sets up a child for success, I can in full faith state that school should be held year-round. Now, if I presented this idea to a younger version of myself, I would undoubtedly be very disappointed in myself. Summer is really fun, and why would I want to eliminate that time where so many memories are made? I can understand why this sounds like an idea that wouldn't be popular among school-age kids. However, in this type of year-round schooling, I seek to make common among schooling districts across the United States the amount of breaks combined throughout the year round type of schooling is equivalent to this time spent in break over summer. Instead of it all being accumulated over 3 months, it would simply be in a smaller segments throughout the course of the year. When the school schedule is changed to one that resembles year-round learning, children experience positive emotional adjustment, positive retention in learning, and positively benefit parental needs. So firstly, year-round schooling leads to children's positive emotional adjustment. Going back to my first little anecdote I shared, I can reflect clearly in my own life that the long gap between summer and the start of school caused havoc for me emotionally. But it is not just my word that I have for reference. As the American College of Education puts it, when school closes for the summer, achievement gaps increase and students experience a decline in academic skills and social emotional health. Even the most prepared parents will find it hard to combat this summer slide. Low-income students are especially prone to these negative effects. Year-round school takes away the threat posed by the summer slide, close quote. So what is important there to note is the social emotional health of those most at risk tend to slip into a decline as school draws closer and closer. Summer creates an escape to forget about life. We as humans come to grow quite comfortable the longer that stay and escape is extended. This just makes the thought of going back harder and harder. Many students, and as stated by the College of Education, especially low social economic status kids, those most needing of being nurtured are most at risk. So what about the kids who hate school? Wouldn't year-round school harm them? On the contrary, kids' feelings, especially those negative feelings towards school, are minimized when summer is shortened and year-round schooling is actively emphasized. This occurs for many reasons. Many students don't like school because they view it as a chore. They're just counting down the days till summer, where they can just forget about everything. But children thrive when they are constantly being pushed to excel with a higher number but shorter breaks in between. So secondly, year-round school leads to children's positive retention in learning. I thought it a good idea to delve into strategies that we as humans can adopt to make learning more efficient and more worthwhile. I found myself reading a study in a journal published by the Applied Research in Memory and Cognition, titled Fostering Effective Learning Strategies in Higher Education, a Mixed Method Study. The study presented many learning strategies and ranked them from highest effectiveness to in long-term retainment and lowest. The two strategies that ranked the highest were practice testing and distributed practice. And these are two types of learning that is emphasized by year-round schooling and diminished by traditional schooling schedule. So practice testing is defined as actively retrieving information from memory by using practice tests. With year-round school, it creates an environment where students can be doing this actively. Distributed practice is defined as spacing study in several sessions over time and reviewing learning materials studied earlier and later sessions. In year-round schooling, this is what takes place. In these two high effective learning strategies, The common theme is noticed. It's repetition. Learning is simply better done when it's done cyclical with no breaks. Year-round learning supports this model, while traditional learning hinders it. And allowing students to break that cycle of learning causes delays in learning. So, thirdly, year-round school positively benefits family ties. Often what isn't realized is the straining effect the summer has on the family. As many as 1 out of 5 kids lives with a single working parent. School acts as a sort of daycare for kids. When there is suddenly a gaping 2-month to 3-month period where childcare is not covered, this causes problems with families and parents seeking supervision for their children. It leaves children often unattended for long periods of time, which can limit the amount of healthy attachment kids make in life. This all blends together and causes stress on many vulnerable families. So how would year-round school be different? While it is true that year-round school would still leave time where kids could potentially go unsupervised, with these breaks shorter and more often, a sense of routine could be established, thus limiting the impact it has on the child and parent. So to conclude, year-round school is simply crucial if we are truly serious about wanting the best for our children. It supports them emotionally and caters to their emotional and to their mental health needs, which are becoming more and more chaotic every day. It supports learning tactics that in turn support children's ability to retain information and excel in school. And it has the capacity to bring families closer together and establish a healthy balance in the home. Each of us as parents should fight to ensure what is best for their children. I encourage you each to further explore the benefits of year-round schooling and become an advocate for change in this regard. Thank you so much.